The nightmares alone are really difficult. I wake up in extreme panic, like I'm sweating and screaming, and I do good at controlling my subconscious throughout the day, but then when I sleep, I guess I'm a lot more messed up than I think I am.
In the moments after the first bomb went off, there was just chaos. Everybody was screaming and running and just, general freak out. There was smoke everywhere. I was blown off my feet.
The first thing, being a mom, I thought of was my baby. Where is he? I could hear him. I couldn't see him. I didn't know where he was. I was trying to get up, and I realized I couldn't even sit up, much less get up on my feet. I looked down at my legs I thought were gone because I couldn't see them. My bones were laying next to me on the sidewalk. I realized that Noah was in the back of me, and I had reached for him, and my left hand the bones were completely exposed and sticking out, was wide open, and blood was rushing down my arm, and I was like, all right, won't be picking up Noah with this arm.
Rebekah was on the other side of me, and she was a mess.
At that point, I laid back, and I really thought I was going to die. I couldn't breathe. I didn't know if I had injuries to my organs or what was going on, but I knew that I was in the worst pain I've ever felt in my life.
The social worker told me that she had an ankle injury and they were getting ready to take her into surgery, but she was asking for us. And I said, yes, we'll be on the next flight out. And we were waiting for our connecting flight to Boston. We looked up, and that was the first time that we had seen any television account of anything. And the very first thing we saw was Noah in the wheelchair. And we both just lost it. I mean, we both cried like babies. And there was a lady sitting there, and she said, do you know somebody who was at the marathon? And I said, that's my grandson.
To try to explain to a 5-year-old that he was victim of a terrorist attack is one of the hardest things ever. He has a lot of repercussions from it. He's very timid now, and his personality has shifted a little bit. And I guess down the road, he'll better understand what happened. Noah was sitting on my feet, and they said that my body completely shielded him. He was out of the hospital within 5 days, and it nearly took my life. I tell people that my leg hasn't been my leg since the bombing happened. It may be attached, but it's not mine, and it hasn't been. Here was a skin graft of what they took from my thigh. There used to be a whole lot more shrapnel in it too. And then this was the flap surgery where they took muscle and tissue from my side and put it down in my foot where the bones are supposed to be that aren't there anymore. I had 3 pins in my hand and then stitches because there were 2 bones that were completely exposed sticking up like this. My other leg had hundreds of stitches throughout here. It looks a lot better than it used to look. We were long distance up until the marathon, actually after the marathon too, but we basically saw each other once a month, maybe twice a month. We talked on the phone every single day.
The first couple weeks we were in and out of surgery. I was on all sorts of medications, so I don't even remember the first couple of conversations we had.
I was just at a really low point, and I told Pete, I said, I really need you here right now. I just want you here. And he's like, I am here. I'm always here. I'm like, no, you're not. You're in New York, I had no idea he was on his way down there at that point.
I jumped in my car and started driving. And before she even, could get her head around the fact that I was there, I got down on one knee and I proposed. Literally the next day, we got called by Ellen and the Knot, and that was crazy.
Does it hurt you at rest?
Yes. It hurt. It hurts all the time.
Okay. With weight bearing is what? Out of 10? 0,
An
9,
11?
10, 0. It's
yeah,
pretty,
it's bad,
pretty exceptional. To the point where you can't get off the crutches.
Right.
Pain at rest?
Like an 8, 7 or 8.
Okay. Does it hurt just to touch your foot?
Mm-hmm.
If we were to fix this, what we probably have to do would be shift the heel, shift the foot, and then determine some sort of tendon transfer procedure to maintain the foot in this position so it doesn't drift back again. Let's talk about amputation. Tell me what you think. I mean, where are you with this whole thing right now?
Ready to chop it off. I don't know, because it's like, we've done so much to fix it.
Right.
I think that we all have this mentality that we have to remain Boston strong, and most times we feel pretty Boston strong, but there's days where I don't feel strong at all, and I'm scared to death. Those are the moments when it's really like, oh my gosh, is this gonna stay with us forever?
I think now's not a bad time to just take that break and leave it alone for a little bit and not have to just think about this. And then we can revisit it if you want to, after your wedding, after your honeymoon, after the marathon memorial thing, whenever you want to do that. I'll leave it to you to come in and
Okay.
tell me when you want to do that.
I've never felt this way when he's been talking before, but when he started talking about that other surgery, I wanted to scream, no more surgeries. I don't know what I would do in your situation. I'm tired. I can't even imagine. I'm not going through it, and I'm tired.
This is when it feels real. Like when I was in my dress at Kleinfeld's, I was like, oh my gosh, I'm getting married. That's so funny. Right? This is everyday life. So pretty.
Oh, how pretty.
I know. It's perfect.
When we got to Boston, we found out that Rebekah was in the ICU. She was swollen so bad, it didn't even look like her. There's that instant where you think, this is the wrong room. This is not my child. This is all a mistake. And she started trying to sign to us and talk to us, and she smiled. I feel sorry for the bomber. I think he was very misguided and misled, and whatever his intentions were wrong. He made a very serious mistake that day. One day I was looking for something online, and this thing popped up that he talked to his mother. What he said to her was that he was fine and he was eating chicken and rice. And that's a dumb thing to get mad about, but when Rebekah's at like 90 pounds and I can't get her to eat anything and we're offering her everything under the sun, I just wanted to go through that computer and just choke him and say, chicken and rice, really? Bread and water, that's what you need.
For richer or poorer,
in sickness and in health.
in sickness and in health.
I don't know if we'll ever have closure to it because it's something that's every day for us still a year later. I think a lot of people forget that because when it's in the news and things, it's like the headline, and then after so long it kind of dies down. But all the people that were affected are affected every single day of their lives. It didn't just happen on April 15th and now it's just coming up again on the year anniversary. It's every single day. We learned so much from it. We appreciate things so much more. I appreciate Pete so much more, my family, my friends, everybody in my life. I hope we have closure. I don't know when it's gonna be though.
I'll pronounce you husband and wife. Pete, you may kiss your bride.
This is a new beginning for us. We say all the time that we're still trying to establish our new normal. I guess this is normal for us now, but it still takes a lot to get used to. But just the fact that we all get to be a family, Noah, Pete, and I, it's more than I've ever wanted for myself and more than I could have ever imagined. I am a survivor, and I get to go the rest of my life thinking that.